What's up, Headless Horde? We have a fantasy football draft today. Listen, I already had one today. I like the way it came out, to be honest with you. Tonight we have it's a $50 league draft. That's the league fee. It's a PPR league. We are starting running back or two running backs, two receivers, one quarterback, obviously, and then we are running two flexes in this thing. And then we also have a tight end and a defense. It's either 5 or 6 bench, and then we have an IR spot as well. So I pulled the 8th pick. I'm not loving that. So over on the poll, if you guys want to vote, those are the players I'm thinking about right now. It kind of depends if someone pulls a trigger on a player that I don't think will go in the top 7. But basically, I'm kind of thinking it's going to go like some type of combination of, again, this is a full PPR. So I would not be shocked to see Tyreek Hill go 1, either McCaffrey or Lamb. You figure that's 2, 3. Jamar Chase will be in there, although I don't think he's signed as of right now. And then we have obviously Breece Hall. We have, Bijan Robinson. So what is that? 6 right there. So, so I'm thinking those are the players that will probably be there for me. So here's the draft board here. We start in about 11 minutes. What's up, Christina? How you doing? Washington Commanders make great picks. Listen, you guys I think you guys got a quarterback. And so earlier today, I drafted Washington defense, mostly because in week 2, I think they get the Patriots. And to me, going into the season, I believe that the Raiders, the Patriots, I mean, those are probably your 2 worst teams. The Giants will probably be in there somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking those are like your worst 3 teams. The Vikings are interesting because you have some good skill players, but I mean, you're rolling out a quarterback. I don't know. It kind of stinks that McCarthy got hurt. I'll be honest with you. I kind of almost feel bad for the Vikings. They went out and grabbed Aaron Jones. They obviously have Justin Jefferson, who is on the poll list there. Justin Jefferson is just the type of receiver that you could probably have a pretty crappy quarterback, and you could still get points with him because, someone's got to catch the ball. Someone has to catch it, and so I mean, Jefferson is still for me a first-round pick. I just don't know. 8 is really tough because, listen, if I could grab Barkley or Gibbs, I'm good with that because I think that as I open a beer, I think that the Lions and also the Eagles are probably 2 of your top 4 to 5 teams in that league. Like they literally might be top 3 along with the 49ers. So I'm a little torn on this one. I'm a little torn. I wish I would have pulled something a little bit sooner. I feel like 8, there really is that huge cutoff. If we go ahead and pull this up, let me see here. So like I said, this is a full point PPR league. So we have we have those 3 running backs, and then we have basically we have those 5 receivers. St. Brown, Hill, Lamb, and Chase. And then I feel like that's where it gets a little messy. Jonathan Taylor, I don't know, man. He's burned me so much in the past. Gibbs is a little further down the list. Barkley is there. He's on a really good team. But it's so hard because Barkley, I mean, Jalen Hurts he steals so many of those touchdowns over there. Maybe that's why they went out and got Barkley because they don't want him to do the old tush push. as much anymore. So it's a tough situation. I top 7, I feel like you're pretty much going to nail it. And I feel like once you get out of the top 7, unless somebody really kind of just messes up the draft a little bit, I feel like it's more, you can start kind of going somewhere else, I guess, it's funny to see these rankings as well, because I have a rankings page up as well, and I've kind of tweaked it here and there. And so it's always interesting to see these different websites with the different rankings, because it's kind of all over the place. Again, I think the top 7 are pretty solid all the way across most of these rankings and these experts or so-called experts, right? Like, talk about the best job in the world. Like, you could just give people your advice and you can just be wrong. And in the long run, it doesn't really matter. So, but yeah, so, I mean, I'm thinking probably Jefferson, Barkley, Gibbs, or like I said, I threw all other in the poll just to see what you guys are thinking, and let me know in the chat as well if you think maybe go somewhere else. AJ Brown is interesting. My biggest issue with AJ Brown in a first round is, dude, the Eagles are stacked, and I just don't know. I mean, he was so good at the beginning of last year, and if you go back and look at his stats, he's kind of just average. He was average like the second half of the season, and he didn't show up in the playoffs, at least in the fantasy playoffs. And so it's interesting. It's just, I don't know. Gibbs to me is a pretty decent play. I'm trying to think I don't know if they have his stats here. So, okay, we pull up Gibbs, and I'm just going to make sure you guys can see that. So I'm not just talking. Let me make sure you guys can see that. I have like 16 tabs open. It's ridiculous. All right. So yeah, you guys can see his profile. So Gibbs last year, he had 52 receptions, and projections are projections, but you can see what they're projecting him. They're actually projecting to get less fantasy points, which I don't understand. Like, dude, it's St. Brown and just some guys. Gibbs, I could see. So for me, Gibbs, and maybe I'm just like too much of a fan, but to me, Gibbs could be the player that, like, he could be RB3 this year. Like, we're getting him at like RB. What is he ranked? Let's see, running back. So they have him ranked at RB6. So I mean, he I think could get to RB3, RB4. Like, he could be better than Barkley and Taylor. He really could. Like I said, Barkley has to deal with the touchdowns from Hurts. Taylor, same kind of situation with Richardson. I just think that those quarterbacks steal those touchdowns. And, I don't think we're not going to see Jared Goff do many QB sneaks. Obviously any quarterback can do it from like the half-yard line, but when you're 2 yards out, give it to a guy, give it to a guy, and I do think is what's his face still on that team? I should probably look that up. Montgomery. Is Montgomery still on he's still on Detroit, isn't he? David Montgomery, dude, you kill me, because if there was no David Montgomery, dude, I bet you that Gibbs is a top 6 pick. I really do. I think he's got the talent. He has the hands, and it's that David Montgomery that I think that messes everything up for us with Gibbs. So, what's up, Reef? How you doing, brother? Hey, Laney Lane, how are you? Hope you guys are doing well. We're only about 4 minutes away from the beginning of this draft. Listen, I am really, really hoping that somebody in the top 7 does something different. Like, I hope one of these fools take, I call them fools, they're my friends, but I hope one of them take like a quarterback, or, like last year, I think in this league though, I think it was me. I want to say I had a bad pick last year too. I don't know. I'm in so many leagues, unfortunately. I either took Travis Kelce in this league or I took Bijan. I can't remember exactly who I took in the first round, But I know one round last year I did take Kelsey, and that really killed me. It really did. So, anyways, I'm gonna check the poll here in just a minute because we are starting this thing here in about 3 minutes. It looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the draft back for you guys because I know I have it on you. Yeah, I was about to look something up, and I'm not gonna worry about it now. But all right. So this morning I had a draft in my big league, $100, 19 rounds. The one thing that makes my league a little bit unique, I think, is that you have to start 3 receivers, and it's not just a bunch of flexes. Even though we still have a flex as well, but we also start 3 IDPs, which are individual defensive players, and usually I'm the first one to take one because I want numero uno. I want a guy that's gonna get me, 8 to 13 tackles a week with the possibility of a sack, maybe a knockdown pass, possibly an interception. You're gonna give me like 3 or 4 assist tackles, maybe a tackle for a loss. Like, give me a solid 12 to 16 points from that position. And that guy's probably outscoring most tight ends. He's also going to outscore probably your 4th receiver, unless you go 4 straight receivers, of course. So in the draft earlier today, I had pick 4, and lo and behold, CeeDee Lamb fell to me in that league, and I scooped him right up. And I all of a sudden had to adjust everything I was doing because when I have a top 4 to 5 pick, I usually will go. Give me that one running back that I can lean on, and where I don't have to worry about it. Like, I can plug and play all of the other running backs. But I ended up going CeeDee Lamb at 4, and then I came back and we did. What did I do? So I did. What I wanted to happen. So Etienne was there, right? The running back from Miami. I ended up actually going Nico Collins because I wanted something. I wanted part of that, right? I wanted part of that offense. And then I was actually hoping that I wanted to try to grab like CJ Stroud, but he actually went right before I had my picks. I actually ended up grabbing Anthony Richardson in that draft. And then I also I went 4 straight receivers. So my receivers in that league were my first 4 picks. It was CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, Chris Olave, and then I went who's my 4th receiver? It's funny. I just did this afternoon too. Let me pull it up real quick. It was so let's see. That's my draft next. I have another draft tomorrow. I have another draft on Monday. My 4 receivers: CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, Chris. Oh, you know what? Oh no, okay. Actually, you know what I did? So now I'm remembering. I actually ended up going Josh Jacobs in the 4th round because I wanted to have a running back because I figured I could get my 4th receiver a round later. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I actually took Richardson in the 5th, and then I took Rashid Rice in the 6th. So those are my 4 receivers though. And then I backed it up with Javonte Williams, and I just took a bunch of guys, so it's all Michael Price. What's up, the man on the couch? What's going on, brother? So this is a full point PPR. We are not drafting a kicker. And actually, it looks like the first person's on. Wait, I didn't draft yet, did I? Wait. Oh, this draft started. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see what's going on. All right, so CeeDee Lamb went number 1. McCaffrey, Breece Hall, Tyreek Hill, Bijan at 5, Chase 6, Justin Jefferson went 7. Wait a second here. Is it my pick? Wait. What am I missing here? I'm on the clock. Wait. What's going on here? So wait. We went. So Justin Jefferson. So that means there's a receiver for me. So I'm gonna go. Wow. Okay. Guys, I'm going Amon St. Brown. Like I didn't even think it'd be a chance. To me, this is a no-brainer at pick 8. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. Like I would have went Jefferson, but I like St. Brown better because he's on the better team. So yeah, St. Brown's the pick. Listen, I'm pretty excited, man. Like this dude, I didn't have him any of my teams last year, and I had to just basically play him in daily because the dude was just 8 to 10 catches every week. So again, this is a full point PPR. We're starting 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and a team D, no kickers, and then we have 2 flex. So the flex can be, receivers. So being a full point PPR, my strategy in this will be to gather up as many good receivers as I can. I'm going to try to get a running back, but I'm not going to reach. I'm going to look for value in the running back probably. So I am now, what am I, 6 picks away. So who do we have on there? We have Puka Nacua, we have Wilson, we have Olave up there, Mike Evans, Pittman, Harrison Jr., Drake London, Nico Collins, ton of receivers. If I go to all positions, Saquon is still there, Jahmyr Gibbs is still there, Pacheco. I mean, we're gonna get ourselves a good player here. I'm just gonna kind of see what happens. See how people are going. Right now, we have Steel Poppin is on the clock. He went Puka, and he's got back-to-back. He's got the turn here. And the winner of this, so when we first originated this league, so he went Puka and Barkley. When we first originated this league, the idea was to give the winner was going to get a Grail Funko Pop, Freddy, whatever. And the problem is that everyone has different taste. So what we ended up doing is everyone kind of put in $50, and at this point, we just kind of give the person the money. And for the most part, people say they're going to go buy a pop. I'm sure that people would just keep it, pay off bills, do what you need to do with it. If I win this league ever, I'm definitely buying a Funko Pop that I want. I have my eye on a couple Grails that I've really wanted for a long time. One of them would be the Captain Rex New York Comic Con exclusive because I would say that's the one and only that I really want that I do not have yet. So that would be something I would love to go grab. All right, so we are 3 picks away. So right now I am looking at. Garrett Wilson, super interesting. If Aaron Rodgers is anything like he was before he got hurt, I think it's a good pick. I could go running back. There's a couple. There's actually 3 running backs. There's Gibbs, Williams, and Pacheco. I guess my biggest issue with Pacheco is that, if I pull up his stats, he only had 44 catches last year. Wilson just went, by the way. That's my only issue with Pacheco in a PPR league. But again, I feel like once you get past Etienne, Henry, we know he does not catch the ball. Rashard White has such a good season. I just don't see how Rashard White can duplicate it. So I don't know. It's really interesting. The spot I'm in right now. I kind of am between 2 players, so I'm actually okay because I'm up in 2 picks. So I think I'm gonna be good with either one. I think I am gonna go running back. Now Kylan Williams, everyone's kind of off on him. So I don't know. He's doing the whole punt return thing and everything else, and I'm actually on the clock. I'll be honest with you. If you guys were at the beginning of the stream, I was talking about taking him at pick 8. So Jahmyr Gibbs is still there. I know that they have Montgomery. So as a first round pick, I don't love Gibbs. But in this position, I absolutely love Gibbs. I think at this point, the only player I probably would have taken over him would have been Garrett Wilson. But we just had two guys go back-to-back quarterbacks in the second round in a PPR league. And I think I think it's a huge mistake. But we can see the Gibbs had 50 catches. Again, it's funny to me his stats that they're projecting. Dude, I think he's in line for a much better year, and they actually have him a little lower here on ESPN. The other websites I use, they have him as the RB4 on the season. So I am literally getting him, in the second round, and yeah, I mean, I'm actually sitting here trying to think of a way to talk myself out of this, and I just can't do it. So I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs. So my draft starts with two Lions, and most of the time I would never draft like that, especially my first two picks. But I feel like those are the two players on the Lions that will absolutely do the most damage. And I do like that my bye week is early for those players. So, it's an interesting way for me to draft because I typically would not do that. I'm not a guy who likes to draft all of those same characters or all the same players. And I'm gonna go Gibbs. All right, let me catch up with the chat now that I have a little bit of a break here in between picks. Let's see. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, brother? Jefferson or Barkley? So obviously we knew we know what we did there. Do you play Dynasty, the Roll FF? So I used to. Well, we used to have to keep 5 different players. So like our keepers or Dynasty would be 5 players, and after I don't know, I was in that league for like about 7 or 8 years. And I ended up getting out of it, and I kind of started becoming the commissioner of my own leagues. And, over the years, I mean, I usually draft anywhere between 8 and 4 teams. This year I'm at 4. I brought it down by 2 leagues. The one league last year was kind of just like, oh, hey, you guys want to draft? And I'm like, yeah, why not? But typically these are like the 4 leagues at this point I'm in. I was in a couple different leagues last year as well that I ended up dropping out of. One was a keeper league. I did not like the keeper rules. To me, it seemed the way the rules is that it just there was no penalty to ever keep a player. Like you could literally just keep anyone, but there's never any kind of penalty for keeping that player year after year. So if you're lucky enough to get one of those players, like for example, like Breece Hall, the dude looks like a complete stud. But there's no penalty to keep him from year to year. And that's the biggest problem with those kind of leagues, because again, not that it's luck, but honestly, let's be honest, it is a little bit of luck that you draft a player like that. He was going in the 8th, 9th round last year because he was hurt. And you pick him up, you make that choice, and all of a sudden now you got yourself a top 2 or 3 pick that you're keeping, and there's no penalty for that though. Like you don't have to give up any kind of. It's your last pick of the draft. So I just felt like I just didn't love the way that rule was, and after doing that league for about 4 or 5 years, I just kind of got tired of it. And there was also transaction fees. I'm a person who will definitely make transactions, and I don't know, $1 every time you have to make a deal. Like anytime you make a pickup, it's $1. Which again, I mean, if you make 40, you make 40 transactions, and I know there's a ton of leagues out there with transaction fees and stuff like that, but I don't know. In a league that I didn't like the keeper rule, then I would be really careful with not like just picking up random players just to pick them up. And sometimes it would help, sometimes it wouldn't help, and I don't know. So, but as far as Dynasty at this point, not really. The one league I do keep a player, I ended up keeping Drake London for my 5th round pick this year. So I thought that was a pretty good value. So yeah, that's kind of my take on the whole keeper thing and all that kind of stuff. So this is a 1 quarterback league. Yeah, terrible picks. I agree, Laney. I don't understand why. It doesn't make sense to me. Like There's 12 quarterbacks out there that are going to be within 40 points of each other. So let me stack up some running backs and receivers, I am in a dual quarterback league. Actually, my draft is tomorrow morning. That one I'm a little torn on because I do have the first pick in the draft. And there's a bunch of crazy rules in that one. And I actually run that league as well. It's you get bonus points for receivers and running backs over 100 yards. You get bonus points for quarterbacks over 300 yards. So there's some bonuses, and it's all 6-point touchdowns. It's a half-point PPR. I have the first pick, and it is killing me because as much as I want to take a quarterback, I won the league last year by not taking the quarterback. I think I had the second pick last year, and I ended up going McCaffrey, and I just stacked. I mean, I won that league with like Russell Wilson and like Sam Howell or something stupid like that. So having the first pick, it's tough because I love CeeDee Lamb, I love Tyreek Hill, and I love Christian McCaffrey. And to take a quarterback over any one of those three, I just don't think I can do it. So I'm just kind of deciding right now what I want to do with that win tomorrow. So Purdy in the 9th. And if you stacked him with like Debo or Ayuk, let's go. Like that's the way you do it, man. That's the way you do it. Seriously. All right, I'm 3 picks away. 1, 2. I'm the fourth. Okay, now I'm the third. So that was Rashard White. So right now I am looking at a couple players. I am actually looking. So I'm on the clock. It looks like. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna pull up my stuff here because I'll be honest with you, I'm torn right now. There's 3 players I like a lot. The question is will the one player come back to me? Because it did not happen today. But there's a lot of craziness going on right now with these tight ends and running and quarterbacks. So I'm just gonna pull this up. Let's see here. I know you guys can't see this. I'm just kind of looking at my rankings. Oh man. Wow. Okay. Again, being a full point PPR, and you can start 4 receivers. Okay. Yeah. 20 seconds. I gotta make a decision here. I feel like the play here, like, so I do like Michael Pittman. But I think the pick for me is probably going to be Deebo Samuel. I'm a big Deebo fan. He gets you the rushing yards too. And like Pittman would have been awesome too. Like I would have been fine with either one of them, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you what, if Pittman comes back to me, it might be my pick. Yeah. I feel like after Pittman, though, I feel like there's definitely a drop off because now you're looking at receivers that are like the number 2. I mean, DJ Moore, I think is fine. But remember, Keenan Allen is there. And although Keenan Allen might not be what he was used to be, although Keenan Allen, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, like Keenan Allen had an amazing season last year. He really did for a team that wasn't very good. And so Keenan Allen, I think, is very undervalued. That has some of these players that is going before him, I think is wrong. But I do have my eye on one specific player. I just don't know if I'm going to get him. But I couldn't pass up on Debo there. I just couldn't do it. As far as let's see who would be in play. So we got 4. I'm 7 away. So Josh Jacobs, I already drafted, but like in the 3rd round, I feel like Josh Jacobs is a good value. What's his face? Who's the backup running back in Green Bay? The dude that's like a little mini tank. I can't remember. AJ Dillon. So AJ Dillon is out for the year. So I mean, I feel like he's he's not a bad pick. Pittman just got taken, so that would have been like the number one thing. Like that would have been amazing if I could have got Pittman there. Ayuk, I mean, I'm not going to take both receivers, so Ayuk doesn't really do it for me there. Jalen Waddle, I like, but again, we're talking about number 2. And at this point, if I can, well, how do you guys? So, see, it's so hard because it's funny. I'm looking at, okay, so we have Stephon Diggs, and then we also have Tank Dell, and obviously Nico Collins was already taken. It's crazy to me to think that those 3 players are all like being drafted in the top 50. Like you're taking 3 of the receivers for that team. I don't know. It's kind of nuts, honestly. Jalen Waddle just got taken. Ayuk. And I am now 4 away. I got it. Let's see. I mean, Jacobs is still there. Etienne, I have no problem with for my second running back. So he would be in play for me, I think. James Cook. My biggest issue with James Cook is that Josh Allen just takes all those touchdowns. I think that's my biggest issue with him. You know, obviously Etienne has issues because we have Mostert. Josh Jacobs, dude, like listen, he has nobody. Who's the backup in Green Bay without Dylan? Like, and Love he's not taking the ball off. Like, I mean, he runs a little bit, but not a whole lot. I mean, Jordan Love, I mean, what do you have? 250 yards rushing last year? I mean, unless I'm way off on this. Jordan Love, here he is right here. So Jordan Love last year, yeah, I mean, so he had 247 yards. What did I say, 250? So I'm like right there. He did have 4 touchdowns though, but I mean, there's a reason why they went and grabbed, Jacobs. Quarterback wise, for me, it's still too early. I just can't pull the trigger before the 5th round. I need players, so that doesn't really do anything for me. Again, if we look at the wide receivers, I'm 1 pick away. So we have DJ Moore with a rookie quarterback. We have Devontae Smith, who's the number 2. We have Stephon Diggs. I don't know what to think about that guy. Calvin Ridley with a quarterback that has some question marks. Tank Dell's there a little further down the list. Amari Cooper for my Browns. That basically just hinges on Watson. If we go to the tight ends, I mean, I just can't, as much as I love Laporta, and actually Laporta just went, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think the pick for me is going to either be James Cook or Josh Jacobs. And I think so. What do you guys think? Jacobs or go Cook? I do like James Cook as long as they are going to run the ball. Like, and I couldn't see Cook catching 70 passes. They have him for 52. Listen, if I look at my rankings, they have James Cook right behind Saquon Barkley. And there's already been like 4 or 5 running backs that have gone after him on the rankings. They have James Cook ranked as number 10. So for me to get Cook to go along with, Gibbs, I kind of like it, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna go James Cook because I feel like on that pick. First of all, I already have Jacobs. If Cook was gone, Jacobs would have been the pick, no doubt. Either him or Etienne. The only problem I have with that dude is that he's going to be splitting time. And I know he was so good last year, but can he hold up to the whole season? That's the biggest thing. All right, so let me catch up with the chat, guys. Again, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth here. Derrick Henry, was he gone? I do believe he was gone. Again, Derrick Henry, though, remember, it's a PPR. He doesn't really catch. But yeah, he was definitely gone by then. So after Cook went Diggs, Etienne, and then Josh Jacobs. So like I said, I mean, I feel pretty fortunate to even have a choice between those three. What's up, Kenneth Bird? How you doing, brother? Jeremy Knapp, what's going on, man? How you doing? All right, so I'm going to put a new poll for the next pick. I'm going to kind of just guess here in 4 players that I might be able to get. Or actually, you know what I might do, guys? Okay, so right now, what do I have? I have so we got 2 and 2, right? So Cook, Gibbs, Samuel, and Brown. So I am 2 and 2. So what I'm going to do in the poll this time, I am going to go ahead and in the last poll, it was split between Gibbs and Jefferson. And so that's how I'm saying, like, it's crazy that I was able to get Gibbs in the second round, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love it. Like, I think it was a great start to the draft. The only bad thing is that they're on the same team. That's like the only bad thing. But again, I think the Lions will be a very, very good team this year. You know, I'm rooting for the Lions. Like, being a Browns fan, Lions and Browns have never been in the Super Bowl, so I'm kind of rooting for them. You know. All right, we're gonna start a poll. So, what position do you think I should do next? Again, this is a full point PPR. I have 2 running backs. I have 2 receivers. I have and and then obviously I don't have a quarterback or tight end or anything like that. So let me know what would you guys do? The other choice that I couldn't put up there would be just go best available. Either running back, receiver, or flex or whatever. Because again, in this league, we can start 4 wide receivers, being a PPR league. And the other thing with James Cook, the reason I think I did go with him because he does catch the ball. They have Dalton Kincaid, who's, I think, a great tight end. I think he's going to have a huge season. I really do. I really like Vegas has him at 750 yards, at like plus 130. Dude, I love Kincaid and putting him with a couple other players in a parlay because I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, 750 yards. I mean, unless the dude gets hurt, like, I don't know a world that he doesn't get 750 yards. So I do like Kincaid is a tight end. Andrews is still there. I love Andrews, but the dude doesn't stay healthy, man. Dude, if you're gonna play for if I'm drafting you got to stay healthy. Like, I can't have you go sit out for 4 games. That dude is always hurt. I mean, I can't tell you how many times last year I picked up Isaiah Likely, and of course, he puts up 4 points for you. And terrible. George Kittle's still out there. I remember I have Debo. Kincaid is out there still. Kyle Pitts is out there. Njoku so again, when we have some tight ends, like, there's no rush for that tight end position for me, unless I'm gonna get like Laporta. But again, I already had 2 Lions, so I'm not gonna go absolutely crazy about it. So I'll give you guys a minute to vote on that poll. I'm just kind of looking at my rankings right now and kind of seeing what we got. So let's see. I'll tell you when the running backs are starting to get thin. I'm kind of glad I went Cook because they're really getting thin. They really are. And then receivers. So the receivers, I'm already on tier 5. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna wait a couple more picks to really decide here. Zay Flowers, and do we need to play? The question in the chat was, do we need to play a tight end? I'm pretty sure that there's a tight end position. Let me see if I go to my team. CJ Stroud just got taken. So roster is, yes, you do have to start 1 tight end. So that's all you have to do is click over to rules, and so you do have to start a tight end. McBride is still there. I would be interested in McBride. I would be really interested in McBride if he can fall to me here. The top receivers right now, according to ESPN, are Ridley and Pickens and Higgins and Godwin and Tank Dell. Tank Dell, I'm interested in as well. That would be somebody else that I could see myself taking to get part of that offense. Running back wise, it's Kenneth Walker and a bunch of guys. Like I feel like Walker, and then there's definitely some type of drop off there. You're talking about guys who are splitting time. You're talking about guys who, just kind of play special roles in the offense. Stevenson. The problem with Stevenson I have is that he's on a horrible team. Like I think the Patriots are one of the worst teams. I mean, Jacoby Brissett just got announced as their starting quarterback. Like, he's a game manager, and I just don't like him. Let's see. Looking forward to seeing what Judy does with Cleveland. Dude, he's got to be better than Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell, the biggest problem with I think we had with him last year is that the Browns just wanted to use him as that gadget guy. And then when Flacco came in first at the second half of the season, it was basically Cooper and Njoku. And Elijah Mitchell just didn't really do anything. So I'm really hoping that Judy can give him something, because I'm not, I kind of was an Elijah Mitchell fan, and then now I'm kind of just like meh on him. All right, so I'm going to check with the chat. We're one pick away, and let's see what you guys said. Let's see here. We have, it was only one vote, and that person says quarterback. So let's see. Let me take a look at the draft, because I want to know who in front of me has the quarterback. So let's see. Let me see. Where can I get the draft? Isn't there not a draft? And see, this is the problem with ESPN. Usually, like on Yahoo, you literally get a color-coded draft order. You can see everybody that you need to see. You can see all the players taken. And in this, they have what's called pick history, and it doesn't really do that much for me. I mean, I have to literally go through every team to see. It sucks, to be honest with you. I am up. So Aaron Jones was just taken. So let's just look. So Anthony Richardson is there. This is pretty much where I took him last time, but I took him at the 59th pick because I had the third pick, or I took him at pick 60 last time in the last draft. So, being all touchdowns or 6 for quarterbacks, I don't think I want to do it right now. I'm really, really leaning toward Trey McBride, to be completely honest with you guys. I feel like after McBride, everybody else, there's some question marks. I love Mark Andrews. I really do. I just don't want the headache of having to deal with injuries, because the dude's always injured. And I'll be completely honest with you as well. Trey McBride is actually number 2 on my rankings. So to get the number 2 tight end ranked in the 5th round, and I'm coming right back with another pick here. Yeah, I think Trey McBride is definitely the pick for me. So I'm gonna go to the tight end. And listen, if Richardson is there on the way back, I may just take him. If I can, I'm basically getting him around later than I did this afternoon. So I have, again, I have Purdy's there. I could try the combo next round even. I do like doing a combo, because right now, if I do take Richardson in the next round, there's no real combo that you're going for. They have a rookie receiver. They have what's his face from last year, who was okay, and I think he got hurt. Who's the receiver I'm thinking about? What's his name? Josh Downs. Yeah, I mean, Josh Downs, right? Like, how much is he doing for you guys right now? I just think McBride is on par to have a great season. And I'll be honest with you, if I could maybe Kyler Murray, maybe instead of having to, go a round or two earlier with Richardson, to do that combo would be pretty nice, I think. Going back to running backs, just kind of looking. I don't really love any of this. Yeah, I'm not really worried. I have two pretty good running backs. You only need to start two. So, I mean, obviously, you can't go into a draft thinking injury, but as of right now, I'm pretty happy with that. Tank Dell is still there. We have who else is up there that's interesting? We have Godwin, Tank Dell. I mean, those are probably the two most interesting players. We have Worthy from Kansas City. Marquise Brown is, I guess, out the first game. So I'm just going to wait it out just a little bit longer. But I would be hard pressed not to take Richardson. I do think, though, maybe Kyler Murray comes back to me. I'm really, really not happy with the way this is set up, though. I don't understand why I can't get a grid. Like, this is one reason why I don't really like drafting on ESPN. Like, they don't help you out. Like, this is the only way to do it, and you can pick by a round, but like you literally have to go all the way through like this. But give me a chart so I can see each team. And yes, I can go through each team like this, but dude, that takes forever. Like, give it to me on one screen. It's quite annoying actually, because I'm usually a person who does that quite a bit in drafts because I want to be able to see the entire thing, and I don't see where there is an option for that on this site. It's pretty annoying. I'm 4 away. So I'm just checking my rankings on the receivers here. So we said Tank Dell's available still. Let's go back to receiver and just see Godwin, Dell. So let's see what else we got. So there's some players I thought might have been available. I think they might have been drafted. I did not see Rashid Weiss. No, so see, it's funny. He is drafted. Okay, so I did not see him go off the board. Okay, so Rice is taken, and then I'm assuming the rookie from the Giants is probably taken as well. So I'm leaning Tank Dow right now. Again, Worthy is interesting. Godwin is interesting. Joku, that's really, really early for him. Listen. Listen. Okay, so Dalton Kincaid is still there. Like, I am not afraid to start two tight ends if they're like, because Dalton Kincaid for me. I mean, if I look at my rankings, I got Kincaid at number 5. Like, McBride is 2, Kincaid at 5. I am definitely not afraid to start two tight ends when they are right now are probably the main targets. And listen, Tank Dell just went as well. And Tank Dell was really the guy I was going to go for. And there are a lot more receivers out there than there are tight ends. And by doing this, I'm taking a tight end that I do like a lot. Oh, man, this is tough. Let me I'm gonna go to this ranking really quick. I'm just curious. I'm doing like a flex ranking to see kind of like just where so Cooper, Tank Dell. Yeah, I mean Tank Dell was definitely much higher. But it's funny. I'm scrolling down and I mean they have Christian Kirk. And actually, Kirk and Kincaid are right next to each other. Huh. I mean, it comes down to the point, like, who do you trust more? And I don't pick for a while. 18 seconds. Deontay Johnson, I just don't love it. Guys, I think I'm gonna go. You know what? Screw it. Let's go Richardson. Screw it. At this point in the draft, I keep seeing him pop up, and I'm like, dude, I just can't pass it. I can't pass up Richardson. I think he's too good. As much as I would love to go on Kincaid, um, to get what I think is it could be the QB1 this year, I really do, because his legs are amazing. If you look at the stats before he got hurt last year, the dude was on pace for like 40 some touchdowns. It was ridiculous. So it's just really interesting for me. And I'm coming back to you guys, chat. Because I haven't been on there, but I really it's funny because I'm not the guy who drafts these quarterbacks early. I really am. But when I can get the value of who I think could be QB1 or 2 this year, and I'm getting him in the 6th round, when I feel like I'm feeling really good right now about my receivers and tight ends and my running backs. I really am. I just feel like it's kind of a steal. Ayuk was already gone. What's up, PDX? How you doing, brother? I'm doing a fantasy football draft. So this is a draft where we all throw in some money, and then the winner gets. I kind of explained earlier, but basically the winner's supposed to go out and get a Grail Funko Pop. Although in this is my second or third year in the league, and I haven't seen anyone show a Funko Pop yet. But I was telling the chat earlier, I think I probably would grab myself my Captain Rex NYCC exclusive, because that's like, I feel like that's the one pop I don't have that I would love to have. But yeah, so that's all we're doing. So we have a little bit of time here to pick. So I'm gonna throw up a new poll. And so the last poll we had, we just had a couple votes for quarterback. So again, it's funny because I put that up there. I didn't take it, but I still ended up being my quarterback I wanted a round later. So there you go. Let's do this. Let's do do I take, and I am not watching the draft, so I could be wrong right now, but do I take a second tight end if it's Kincaid or Pitts, or just best running back receiver that is available? So that's the question. So tight end, or let's just do running back and then receiver. So I'm going to put only Kincaid or Pitts. All right, let me know what you guys think. All right, so if you are just joining us, let's kind of do a quick recap on the draft. So what I have right now is we are sitting at with my first pick in the draft at pick 8. St. Brown fell to me. So St. Brown, and I just saw actually both tight ends just went off the board. So I guess that question doesn't really mean a whole lot anymore. And see, that's the question too. Like if let's say I would have went Kincaid or even Pitts, either one. I probably could have got Kyler Murray with this next pick. So I would have got the combo that I was looking for, number one. And plus I would have that extra tight end, which you can play as a flex, who I think is better than the receivers available. And that's the gamble sometimes, like what's better, Richardson and the pick I'm about to take, or would have been better to be like Kyler Murray and then have those 2 stud tight ends. So that's always the thing that you got to decide. If I was only within like those few picks that I have, I'm at pick 8. So if I had the quicker turnaround, I may have done it that way. But I think because of the long wait, I think Richardson would have been gone. And as you can see right there, Dak Prescott was just taken. So chances are I would not have got him. But we'll see if Kyler Murray's taken before we get back to me, because that's always the thing. Anyways, I went St. Brown at pick 8, which I thought was a very, very good deal. Like I was very happy with that. And then we went Gibbs. Again, we went back-to-back Lions, but I just couldn't pass up Gibbs where I was getting them. I just couldn't do it. And this is a full point PPR league. After that, we went Deebo Samuel in the 3rd, and then I was able to grab Cook in the 4th. And then we went McBride in the 5th, and then Richardson was the last pick in the 6th. And we are now about 6 or 7 picks away from our 7th round pick. And that's what I'm starting to kind of look at here. And I really do have a feeling that Kyler Murray probably would have got to me. A little disappointed, honestly, because I could have got that combo too. But again, we'll see at the end of the season who's better and whatever. But so right now, tight ends out because the 2 I wanted are gone, and Ferguson just went. And at this point, there's nothing there. So we're gonna just start stacking running backs and tight ends. So this is interesting because running backs, Mostert is still there. So I have Mostert much higher than some of these other players, where again ESPN's rankings are just much different. Stevenson's still there. I guess in the 7th round, it's not bad value. Again, somebody has got to do something, I guess, for that offense. His stats last year, he had 156 carries for 619 yards, 38 catches for 238. And if I remember correctly, he got hurt. He's being viewed as a high-end flex. So Stevenson is there. Brian Robinson, again, is also interesting for me. But you have Eckler behind him. And Stevenson just went. So there goes that whole idea there. So Robinson, I'm not going to do Montgomery. I can't start 2 Lion. Yeah. I mean, Montgomery would be a decent handcuff, but I'm not handcuffing in the 7th round. Tajay Spears, I'm not really a big fan. And as I look down at these running backs, I just don't see anything I like. So I think I'm probably just going to start loading up receiver. And the question is who? I do like Jaden Reed. Deontay Johnson still scares me. I don't know. The Panthers might be one of the worst teams as well. Again, I'm just going to kind of pull up my rankings here. And what I do with this site I use, I'm able to put in all of the the stats and or not the stats, but the what exactly we are, his PPR, non-PPR, how many yards. So I can put all that information in here, and it kind of reevaluates the rankings, which is cool. So as of right now, we're past tier 5. We're into tier 6. Actually, tier 6 is probably gone too. So according to this, Christian Kirk is the next best. And Deontay Johnson is at the end of that tier, with Keenan Allen and Jaden Reed bringing up tier 8. So Christian Kirk is hurt right now, but he is the number 1 receiver on the team. And Keenan Allen is still there as well. Keenan Allen, I mean, they have Kirk ranked about 6 spots higher. Let's see. He suffered a groin injury in week 13, blah, 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 blah. He was wide receiver 23 in fantasy last year before he got hurt. There's no Calvin Ridley on the team. And his target, he had 21.5% targets per route ran, which was the highest on the team. Again, that was with Ridley. And now they don't have Ridley, and they also don't have Zay Jones. I know they drafted somebody, though. I think they drafted a rookie. The biggest problem I have with Kirk is his health. But, you know, and Keenan Allen just got taken, and it almost makes my decision easier. There's a couple of receivers I do like that I think I can probably get on the way back. Oh yeah, Brian Thompson Jr. That's who they drafted. I don't love the pick. I really don't. Brian Thompson Jr. is interesting. The problem is that you have you have freaking Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball to you. That's the other issue. Going back to running back just for a minute, they have Brian John. I can't do it. I feel like receivers are the way to go. Jackson Smith, he's interesting. Young guy. He's got some speed. Again, you have quarterback issues there. He's actually where's he ranked? Yeah, so he's like right in the same area. He's like just a little lower than Kirk. I'm gonna go with the youth. I'm gonna take a stab on him. Don't absolutely love it, the pick. I really don't. But I think for what's up there, he may be the best. And again, he's younger. I mean, Christian Kirk is a good player. He really scares me with those injuries. So, we'll see what happens. And I'm probably going to end up taking like 4 out of the next 5 picks will be receivers. So I can play matchups. I can do whatever. But I would almost rather take a stab at Brian Thomas Jr. than Kirk. Again, just because of the upside. I mean, we kind of know what Kirk is. I mean, he had, as much as we talk about it, he didn't even have 800 yards last year, and he only scored 3 touchdowns. So it's not like he's lighting the world on fire. And again, I'm going with an upside player. I just feel like is the better way to go. I'm shocked they have him projected for so many fantasy points. Like there's receivers on this right now that I would definitely take before him. I mean, the Cortland Sutton, like I would have taken him first too. I would have taken him. I probably would have went Keenan Allen, but unfortunately, he was taken right before me. But now we do have the Bears rookie up here too. Let's see. I mean, Kirk is still there. Jaden Reed is somebody that I don't mind taking a stab at. Joshua Palmer, and then you have Vlad McConkey, who is a rookie for the Chargers. Really starting to get down to like, you're just throwing darts at this point almost. That's why I'm saying, guys, like, look at the receivers I'm with right now. Like, so Keenan Allen's probably like I would say for me that's a tier break. It would have been huge if I could have came back. What quarterbacks are left still? Yeah, I mean Purdy's there, Love is there. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I don't usually draft quarterbacks because I could have taken Pitts or Kincaid, came back and probably would have got in Murray maybe. Let me go look and see where he went because I wasn't really paying attention. So let's see. Let's see. That's okay. So we're way back. Okay, so here we go. So I took Richardson, Burrow, Kincaid, and Pitts. So if I would have taken Pitts or Kincaid, Richardson probably would have went because Dak Prescott went. Kyler Murray was taken here, and there's no other court. So that's what I'm saying. I bet you I could have, because if I didn't take Richardson, that bumps everybody else down. So I bet you I get Murray there, and I could have had Kincaid or Pitts. So basically, it would have been Kincaid / Pitts, whoever I wanted, and Murray. Instead, I got Richardson and Smith. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you rather hear? We'll put that in the poll because now I'm curious to see what you guys say. And I'm coming back to the chat here after my next pick, after I have a little time. But I'm going to throw this in the chat. It was 50-50 on receiver and running back last poll. So what would you rather have? So what's better in your guys' opinion? So it would have been Richardson and Smith. What is his last name? I can never. I'm just put Smith N. You guys know what I'm talking about. And then it would have been probably Murray. And I'm gonna put King. I'm gonna put Pitts. And the reason why I'm putting Pitts over Kincaid, it would have been a hard choice, but because I have James Cook already, so maybe I might have went Pitts there instead. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. All right, so we're almost there. A couple picks away, three picks away. Let's see. Some decent quarterbacks left still. When I spend a top 6 pick, I'm not gonna worry about quarterbacks again. So if I look at the running backs, we have Jalen Warren, Devin Singletary. Apparently is the starter in New York. I just think New York's gonna be awful. Mostert is still there. I mean, Mostert by far is the highest ranked running back on my list. Like they have Mostert ranked. Let's see, in this type of league, Mostert is ranked. Where is he at? Yeah, actually, he's pretty low. He's lower than I thought. So they have Jalen Warren, Spears, Singletary. Yeah, Mostert's actually way lower than I thought. Or I missed them because, my gosh, I'm like in tier 9 right now. Wow. Okay. So I had to miss them. I had to. It doesn't make sense that he's that far down. I'm on the clock, ain't I? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, actually, here's Mostert. He's tier 5. Mostert is a tier 5 running back they have. Oops. All right. Why is this so loud all of a sudden? Okay, there we go. All right. So, listen, Nick Chubb is on the board. If Nick Chubb comes back in week 5 and is anything at all like Nick Chubb, it's a complete steal, in my opinion. I don't love the wide receivers. I just don't. I mean, and Kirk is still there. So what I can do here is I can take Chubb, and then I can actually put him into my IR, and I could come back and I could probably grab a different player at the end, and maybe not even draft a defense or something like that, and just pick up whatever. So for what is left with the starters I have, I personally think it is worth the gamble for Chubb, and I think that's the way I'm going to go with this one. So I'm going to go Nick Chubb. Throw him in my IR, pick up someone else, and if I can come back and maybe even get Jerome Ford, now I have starting running back for the Browns. So I don't know. Again, in this part of the draft, I mean, we're in round 9, toward the end of round 9, actually. That is about where Chubb is going, is between 8 and 10. So he was on my target list when I came into the draft because I wanted to see if I could snag him. And I just feel like most of these guys in this league are like, not all, but like there are definitely some guys from Cleveland. And being in that kind of draft, I feel like he might not have lasted to me. Again, if I'm on the short turn, maybe I'll wait. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the gamble. But I don't know if you guys don't follow Nick Chubb on socials, the dude was freaking squatting 600 pounds after that crazy injury from last year. So, they're probably being super safe with him, which is the reason why they put him on the pup to begin with. So yeah. So we'll go with Chubby over there. We'll see what happens. All right, vote on that poll. What combo deer do you like better? I'm gonna check that before my next pick. So let's see. We're away. We got quite a ways here before we go again. Right now we have 4 votes, so actually it's completely split in half. Interesting. Jalen Warren is an interesting pick for me. Mostert is still there. Singletary and Spears are still there. My bye weeks for my running backs are 5 and 12. So if Chubb were to come back in 5, there will be no issue with subbing him for Gibbs. So, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe I go out and grab myself Ford, but I'm not going to do it with my next pick. Like, I'm not going to reach for him, uh, especially too, because there's still some other running backs out there that I actually like. I mean, we got some starters out there still, but Ford would be somebody maybe in the 11th round, possibly. Oh, wait. So, wait, oh, man. Did I take Chubb in the 8th? I did take Chubb in the 8th. Okay. So I messed up. I thought we were in the 9th round. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did take Chubb in the 8th. Yeah. So that's my bad. I thought we were in the 9th round. So I took him 1 round earlier than I wanted to. But the wide receivers, let me look. So who would I have taken though? I mean, Brian Thomas, I would have been really interested in taking. Jaden Reed. I mean, they don't really do much for me, honestly, but they're all fine. But I think I let me think. So there is one receiver I do like up there, but he's kind of far on the list. Marquise Brown is out for the first game, they said. Because technically, right now, I am looking for another starter. A lot of question marks on this list. I mean, Jerry Jeudy is there for the Browns. Man, oh man, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really loving any of these receivers though. Yeah, I'm really starting to regret that pick of Richardson. When I could have taken that other stud tight end better than the receivers that were available, and I would have still had Murray. Because I feel like my second flex is a major issue right now. I mean, again, the way I think of it is the next player I take is going to have to be a receiver. I mean, how do I not? And I don't like any of them that I see, except for one. But I feel like I could probably get him with my next pick. Let's see here, guys. Robinson and White. Gus Edwards. I don't know what to think about Gus Edwards. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I am completely torn right now. Brock Bowers is there. He's a rookie tight end. Gardner Minshew is the quarterback, and I'm now on the clock. Devin Singletary, yeah. Dalton Schultz is there. Don't really love him either. Jacoby Myers. I really don't want any part of that team. Mooney's on Arizona now. Gabe Davis is in Jacksonville. I mean, Marquise Brown. I don't even know what to think about that dude. I can't take Lockett. It doesn't make sense. I'm torn on this, guys. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that the play here is Jerome Ford. I really do, because at least it gives me the running back for the Browns, and that I could throw him into a flex if I absolutely need it. Because at this point, everyone else is on a share anyways, and at least I know Ford is starting. So again, I don't love the pick. I really don't. But because I went Chubb around early, that's what happened. I kind of messed it up. I definitely messed it up. But with that being said, I have 3 starting running backs who don't have much competition. Gibbs, obviously we have Montgomery, and then but like basically there's no competition behind them. So I can start Ford and Chubb. Whenever Chubb comes back, I just drop Ford, or you just hang on to him in case of an injury. The next player I pretty much already know I want, and again, it's probably early. It really probably is, but I like him more than any of the other players listed on ESPN. I do not like ESPN's rankings. It's hard because like you're drafting and you're looking at it the whole time, and I just gotta keep reminding myself that my rankings are better than that. Those are they're very generic. Because I just gotta stop looking at those. Because the receiver I am looking at on my rankings is ranked. Let's see. Where's he at? He's a little lower than I like. He's a little bit lower. I mean, there's definitely a few guys higher, but like, here's the thing. Like, for example, DeAndre Hopkins, who's on Tennessee, he's ranked higher. Dude, how many games is DeAndre Hopkins gonna play? The dude he's getting up there. He just nothing for me. I want somebody that I know could go out there and have a big season because he's young. He's picking up a new role on this team. Like that's the way I look at it. Like okay, so we got Jacoby Myers on a terrible team, Mike Williams, who like I mean seriously, like in what season does Mike Williams play that he hasn't been hurt in? Again, Tyler Lockett I'm not taking him because I already have the other guy. Darnell Mooney, at best, he's the 4th or 5th choice. Jerry Jeudy's still an interesting pick, but I don't think I need a rush for that. And plus, I already have, I already took 2 Browns. Gabe Davis, again, I feel like Gabe Davis is a hit or miss type player. Like he's going to go for 18 or he's going to get you 2. And I would rather have consistency than a player like that. And the player I'm looking at here is kind of similar to Gabe Davis in a way, but he was the guy I think I'm going to grab was a pretty big player for his team last year, and he was probably the 4th or 5th option, but he made some big plays, and now he is probably the 3rd option. So he's bumped up 2 options, and I think that, and he's got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So, but I don't want to say too much because I'm not sure who in the league is watching this. Because I know there was a couple guys in here earlier. All right, as soon as I make this pick, I'm going to head back over to the chat. Let me know on the poll as well, because we're going to go through that really quick too. And then after this pick, guys, I think I only have basically bench and my defense in last. And I have already have a plan for my defense that I'm basically doing in each of my leagues because I think it's a solid plan. So I think I'm just gonna try to do that in all of the leagues. Like I'm just kind of looking at the team I drafted earlier today. So again, Richardson, and then I have CD Lamb, Nico Collins, and Chris Olave, and my flex is Rashid Rice, right? But my tight end is Pat Fryermuth. Well, okay, and today I went early on that and I got McBride. And then my running backs are Gibbs and Cook with the Browns, the Browns team or the Browns running backs, where I have Javonte Williams in that spot. And my backup, my third running back is Chase Brown. So it's funny how they work out. All right, I'm on the clock. I guess I just don't want to mess this up. And I know I'm going way lower on the list than I'm expected to, but I feel like this player is in for a big year. And Josh Allen's has got to throw the ball at somebody other than Kincaid and Cook. And I think this is where Khalil Shakir comes into play. And again, I probably could get him my next round, but I'm not going to mess around. And I'm going to take the guy that I know I want and who I think is better than everybody above him. So that's my pick. And I can easily throw him into a flex spot as well if I don't feel good about Ford. So there you go. The guy might only catch 3 or 4 balls. Like I said, he to me is a little more dynamic, I think, than Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is probably a faster receiver. But in that offense, Josh Allen is going to throw for 4,000 yards. He's going to throw for 4,000. He's going to rush for 500. He's going to have 30-some plus touchdowns. Shakir's going to have 5 or 6. He'll probably have 700 or 800 yards receiving. He's not a player I have to worry about starting all the time. We'll see what happens. Maybe I do start him all the time. And I know it's just a guy I've been kind of targeting late in drafts. And in this draft, it's, more or less because we only really have 4 picks left. Well, I guess 5 picks left. And I don't need a kicker. I don't need to pick up anything else. Just take the guy you want at this point. Like, I don't really care about rankings. I'm at this point of the draft, I'm picking the guys that I want. And the next pick is going to be the exact same thing. So anyways, we have a little time. Let me head back over to the chat. And I'm also going to check the poll really quick. So you guys are, so we have 6 votes, completely split even on those 2. So, I mean, it makes me feel a little better that you guys aren't all with the Murray pick. But yeah, so that's interesting to see. So split down the middle. Yeah. I mean, I still think Murray and Kincaid would have been better. But again, we'll see what happens. I am usually not the person who also drafts the same quarterback in multiple leagues. But I don't know, man. I just felt like the value for Richardson was so good right there. I don't know. Because I didn't like any running backs. I didn't like any tight. I didn't like any running backs. I didn't like any receivers. So that's why I decided to go with him over a second tight end. And again, if you guys are doing drafts or you guys draft and you guys haven't done it yet, typically I will wait for tight end and quarterback, and I load up on those receivers and running backs. But again, McBride, I don't know. I feel like I had to do it. It was a good pick, I think. And it's nice to not have to worry about streaming a tight end, because in a lot of leagues I do stream, but it's nice to have that one tight end where boom, you don't have to worry about it. Although last year I thought I did the same thing with Travis Kelce, and he definitely did not have a Travis Kelce type year. He was definitely up and down last year. It was not a typical year for him. So let's see. What do we got here? So right now I'm kind of have the running backs pulled up just to kind of see what's going on. Don't really love any of them. Jerry Judy got taken. I was looking at Judy for maybe the next round, but I don't know. I don't know. There's maybe 2 running backs I'm interested in. And I feel like one was taken because I thought I had 3 on my list. Maybe one was taken before my last pick. Yeah, okay. So this guy took Jonathan Brooks. So Jonathan Brooks is actually the starting running back for Carolina. The issue with Jonathan Brooks is that he is on the pup for 4 weeks, just like Nick Chubb. And I have Jonathan Brooks in my other league, and that was another reason why I kind of decided to go with Chubb on this one. So again, I'm not putting all of my eggs in the same basket. But I do like taking that player like that because again, it's cool because you can throw them into your IR and go pick up a different player than on on waivers. Now I don't know if this league, in my leagues when I run them, I allow people to pick up instantly. Like you don't have to go through the waiver process until after week 1. So if somebody is hurt in practice, you don't have to stress out and have some player that you got hurt on your bench. So that's kind of the way I do it. And I think what I'm going to do here is, again, receivers. We're looking at like Mike Williams, Davis, Mooney, Thielen, Jameson Williams, Rashid Shaheed. I mean, none of these guys do anything for me. Joshua Palmer is interesting, but I mean, I would rather take another running back at this point. And, I see 2 running backs here. I see Edwards, who technically is the starter, and then the rookie is behind him in Blake Corum. Miles Sanders is available, but, again, he's like at this point the 3rd on the depth chart. So I think what I'm going to end up doing here, guys, is I'm just going to take Gus Edwards and hope that he hangs on to the job and he looks like he did at the end of last year when he scored all of those touchdowns. So again, Gus Edwards, no help in the PPR aspect, but he's a player that I can, I could throw in if I need it into a flex. He's not going to help me on the Gibbs. I just found out because him and Gibbs have the same bye week. So, but the hope is that Chubb is back. So we'll go Gus Edwards, and now we're down to 4 picks. Defense, I'll probably end up picking last, but there's just, here's who's available. Defense changes so often. I think I ended up picking up like the Chiefs defense in week 7 last year and basically rode them because their schedule at the end of the year was amazing and they were just on fire. And so I don't really stress out about defense. Jets defense is probably going to be pretty good. I had to look at their schedule, of course, which I do have on a separate sheet. Go Corum. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of looking at that right now just to take both. And then I have them both. And again, I only need to start 2 running backs. So in this type of league, you can do that kind of stuff. And then you just see what happens and you drop the guy you don't need, or you hang on to both for injuries, because Corum is, I'm kind of looking at that. But the only thing that scares me with this team, the Chargers, is that you have who I think is a good quarterback in Herbert. But man, oh man, look who he's throwing the ball to. He's surrounded by youth. I think they probably brought in Gus Edwards, to help with some veteran leadership because that is a young team. But if this dude can ball out a little bit, so I'm kind of looking at him, to be honest with you, for my next pick. And again, it stinks to take 2 players to kind of make one, which I've already done. But again, remember, I can put Chubb on the IR, so it's a little bit different. Again, wide receivers, we still got Gabe Davis. We have Jameson Williams. Again, my biggest issue with Jameson Williams is I already have 2 players on Detroit. We have the rookie from Carolina. Xavier, I think it's Leggett. We still had Josh Palmer. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm kind of leaning toward Josh Palmer if he's there, and he probably end up will be. And not that I really want to start loading up on the Chargers, but again, I feel like I'm taking their starters. I'm taking their number ones. You know, so for a plug and play because they're never going to really start. I mean, Palmer. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this guy this year. Backup quarterback for anyone who's even thinking about that. Again, that's not typically something I do when I spend a top pick on a quarterback. There will be plenty that if something happens or I need to fill a buy, I can go grab one. Although Kirk Cousins does make it interesting for me because I do like Kirk Cousins. We'll see what happens with him when he comes back. Is he the same quarterback? I mean, the dude doesn't run, so we're good there. We just need him to throw the ball, and he's got so much talent around him. Like it literally reminds me of Minnesota. I mean, when he had Dalvin Cook and Jefferson and Thielen, he's got London, he's got Pitts, Bijan, Mooney's there now. So they have players. Kirk Cousins could be a possibility for a backup quarterback just to kind of have it. But I just don't think I can do it in this pick. Gabe Davis, man, how many catches did he have last year? So Davis last year had 81 targets. He caught 45 balls. 45. He has 7 touchdowns. Like I don't see a world where he even comes close to that, to be honest. Like I just don't see it. So I think, guys, I think I'm gonna go Palmer. I really do. So last year he only had 38 catches. So I mean, you can see here he's already projected for more catches and more yards than Gabe Davis on a pretty crap team. I don't really want any part of New England. Mitchell's a rookie on the Colts. Wicks, again, he's that spark plug. He's that guy he's kind of like Gabe Davis, honestly. I'm just kind of scrolling down and just see Tyler Boyd is on Tennessee. Rashard Bateman, I'm good on that. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take Palmer. I was kind of leaning that way last round as well. And I just want to have number one receivers. So we'll see what happens. Again, if it doesn't pan out, then, you drop them and you pick up the waiver pick of the week or whatever. So, all right, now we have some time to let me come back to the chat here. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out tonight and just kind of checking things out. And Laney Corum is, I believe he's still there. So trust me, I do have my eye on him. Let me double check it really quick. He's still there. So I might be doing that. Johnny D. What's up, man? Johnny says, I am in a 10-team PPR league, and the commissioner changed our draft to a randomized draft order this weekend. What's the play? Well, the play is to have your commissioner not do that crap because I can't stand it. And for my league, we pick draft order for our season on July 4th. And that way you have like almost 2 months to prepare. And there's nothing I like doing more than mocking. Although, like after the first, after like the 8th round, it seems to kind of like be useless because what happens is people leave and then, you get auto pick defenses and kickers early, where that typically doesn't happen in a real draft. But it's still fun to kind of just play around and see who and what's going to be there for your first 5 rounds. So I feel like my double hero running back strat is out the window. I mean, here's the thing. 10-team leagues are a little different because 10-team leagues, and dude, every team's gonna be good. Like it's the nature of the beast. It's 4 less picks every single round. So every team is going to be good. It also depends on your settings. How many receivers are you starting versus how many running backs, how many flex do you have? That all comes into play. I have a draft on Monday where my keeper is Drake London for my 5th round pick, which I thought was a very good value. And I have the 3rd pick in the draft. And I know right now that the players available will be Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Tyreek Hill. Like those are the 3. And I would love to get Tyreek Hill. It's a full point PPR league, but we only have to start 2 receivers and there's 1 flex. So in that type of league, to me, I already have what I consider a top 10, receiver in London. I would go Tyreek Hill with no problem at all. But I wouldn't mind having one of the running backs because you only have to start 2. And there's only 3 receivers you have to. Well, you have a possibility of starting 3 receivers. We've been begging the commissioner in that league to throw another receiver or another flex in there forever. He absolutely refuses to do so. He wants to keep it to a 14-round draft, and that's it. And it's silly too, in my opinion, just because it is probably the most expensive league that I'm in, and it's just. What happens is when you have a league that you don't have a lot of starters, it just balances everybody out. And not that it becomes luck, but everyone's stacked and it becomes luck, honestly. And that's how my feeling is with a 10-team league. It's everyone's going to have a really good team. It just is. It's who gets a little bit lucky on a couple other picks. So I don't know. I mean, you said you don't know what pick you are probably for like an hour. So I don't know, man. I mean, let me know if it's a PPR league. I mean, if it's a PPR league, it makes a little bit of a difference. If it's non-PPR, I would go running back. Get 2 studs. There's going to be plenty of receivers. So it all depends upon what your league settings are. Oh, wait, Corum's on the Rams. Oh, wait. What am I looking at? Wait. Okay, wait. Who am I thinking then? Okay, so Corum got taken anyways, right? Yeah, Blake Corum's. You're right. He's on the Rams. So who? Okay, yeah. Who is the running back? Then who is the rookie running back on the Chargers? Who am I thinking about then? The Chargers signed Gus. Who is the other one? Who is the backup running back for the Chargers? Because now I'm thrown here for a loop. So let's do drafted. Whoa. So J.K. Dobbins is all. See, I didn't even know that. So Dobbins is also. So is Gus Edwards not even the starter? Interesting. I didn't even know that they both went there. Well, that's kind of awful. Well, now I don't have to worry about that. I didn't even realize that I didn't realize that Dobbins was even on that team. All right, well, and honestly, it doesn't really matter. So let's go. What am I doing here? So I got 3 picks left. Receivers. Michael Wilson, Romeo Dobbs. None of these guys really do anything at all for me. I mean, I have Brown and Samuel Smith. I can never pronounce that guy's name. Smith Nawagba, whatever his name is. Here, Palmer. I feel like I'm good on receiver right now. I'm going to just take a stab, and I'm going to draft Rico Dowell just in the hopes that like Zeke sucks. So we'll see what happens. I just feel like I need another running back because now that I found out Edwards is sharing time with Dobbins, that's not going to be great. Again, I'm locked in my starters. As long as I get no injuries from those running backs, I'm good. I'm locked in. Just trying to build a little depth. And then what I'll do next is I'll probably go receiver because I think at this point, I mean, Ray Davis is interesting, but again, I already have Cook. Jalen Wright is like everyone's big sleeper this year. My problem with Jalen Wright is you got two running backs in front of him, and it's like really. Bucky Irving is interesting. He's sitting behind what's his face in Tampa Bay. Jordan Mason is more of less a handcuff for CMC. I mean, Jalen Wright. It's interesting they drafted this dude, to be honest with you. Most productive running games in Miami. Fantasy managers, blah, blah, blah. You should not hesitate to add Wright to your roster in the double-digit rounds. He has the potential to be a league winner if either running back goes down. I don't know. Should I go Jalen Wright? Let me know in the chat. Would you go Jalen Wright or should I do... Actually, did they already get drafted? No, Dotto. Okay. So what? My last pick. Should I go Jalen Wright or take like a Dontavian Wicks, or Josh Downs to pair up with my quarterback, who I'll probably never end up starting him. Jalen Polk. I mean, it's probably for me. It would be between. It would probably be between Wicks. I mean, if I'm just thinking upside here, I mean, Romeo Dobbs is still there too, who's like the slot receiver. So So what do you guys think? Wicks. Let's go Wicks, Dobbs, or just go ahead and go for it with the running back. Again, backup quarterback I typically don't do. Again, if Kirk Cousins was there, I would have taken him, but I'm not gonna sit here and I just don't care. Like, I don't draft a quarterback in the top 6 picks if I'm going to worry about stressing out about an injury. So, that obviously would ruin my season, and it wouldn't really matter at this point. Plus, you got Baker, the touchdown maker, who will probably be on the waivers. Let me come back to the chat very quickly. What do you guys think? Dobbins? Yeah. All right. So Wicks. How many receivers I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running. I got 5 receivers and 1, 2. I'm going to count them as 1. So that's 1, 2, 3. I have 5 and 5 actually. I definitely. I guess what I'm thinking is I could probably take. What about McLaughlin? I'm up now on the clock, of course. Let me just check the defense for a second. I don't really care. All right, we'll roll the dice. This is hard because I would usually don't draft this many running backs. I'm going to take. Let me see. So Wicks is ranked. I mean, he's really far down there, actually. Like, he is in tier 10. All right, let's take the running back and let's roll the dice and see what happens. Worst case scenario, if I don't like what happens, then I can just drop them. But I feel like at this point, it's why not, right? And that's and I'm actually not allowed to draft anymore. I'm not allowed to draft anymore running backs. Oh, it's because okay, so I have big defense. So we have one pick left. So the way I do defense, guys, is I look at the schedule. I try to find a team that I feel like has 3 to 4 really good matchups in the first 5 to 6 weeks, and I'll draft them. And then what I'll do is I will go ahead and put Chubb in the IR. And if I'm able to pick up a team right away, I will pick up another defense to fill in the gaps. If I can't, then I'll just wait it out. I'm not gonna waste a waiver pick on a team like that, like on a defense. But that's kind of how I run my defense. And so I kind of already have an idea of who I want here for my defense for week 1. So we'll just kind of sit here and wait it out because this is the final pick of my draft. And we'll kind of go through the team before I get out of here then. Yeah, Jalen, and that's what I did. Let's see here. And I'll be curious too. Maybe I'll pull up both teams. I don't know if I can't pull them at the same time, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. I feel like the team, the earlier one today I like it better, but my running backs are definitely better in this league. Because like I said, my starters in that league are Josh Jacobs, and Devontae. My gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Javonte Williams from Dallas, and then my tight end is Freiermuth though. But again, my receivers are Lamb, Collins, Olave, and then Rashid Rice, and then my backup receivers. We have actually I have Shakir in that league too from Buffalo. And then I also took Mitchell from Indianapolis, the rookie. And then my running backs fill out with Jacobs and Williams. And then I also have Chase Brown, Chuba Hubbard. And so I kind of did the whole thing there too, because I also took what's his face, Jonathan Brooks. So what I did is I took Hubbard as well. So I kind of did the same thing in this league, but with the Chubb and Ford. So so who did you take? Because I was literally just talking about that. I was talking about I took Freiermuth in my league earlier today. But again, it's just funny how like you definitely see a hit somewhere when you take that early tight end. You just do. I see the hit in my receiver core because I took McBride. Because like in this league, I'm gonna have to start either. It's gonna have to be Ford. It's probably gonna be Ford to Shakir. I mean, I could throw Palmer out there. Maybe I'll see what the matchups are. But like in my other league, yes, I have Freiermuth, but I have Rashid Rice starting instead of those players. So again, it's just kind of a little different. It's funny. I just never would have thought I would have got St. Brown at 8. Like I thought it was going to be like Barkley or Gibbs or I don't know. I wasn't going to take AJ Brown there. I wasn't going to take. It was a little too early for Harrison for me. I'm not going to take my first pick to be a rookie. So I'm pretty thrilled I got St. Brown there, though. I think that was a pretty good value. Richardson, like I said, the Richardson pick I may have won a little early on, but I don't know what we got here. We're about 4 picks away and I got to pick my defense, and then what I'll do is I'll jump in the league and I'll go ahead and take a look at the I'll see if I can make a move or not. I don't remember the rules in this league. I may have to wait, which kind of stinks, but Brock Bowers, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Brock Bowers. I mean, but again, I feel like it stinks because you got to take him in like would you take him in the 8th or 9th round, somewhere in that range, maybe 10th. I have to go back and look at it. I mean, he went so early in my league this morning. Like I was like, what? Like he went before like Ingram. He went before like players who have like proven it, right? I mean, again, the Raiders have Minshew. Like I don't know. So if I go to the draft, let me see. Let's go to pick history. So Brock Bowers, you took him in the. Let's see if I can do this be quicker if I do a search. So Brock. So only be 2 Brocks, right? Brock B will do. So yeah, okay. So you think with the 10th round. I mean, I don't think that's terrible. Yeah, I think that's all right, actually. Double-digit round for him. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Oh no, did he take my defense? Are you serious? Somebody took my defense? Oh my god, the pick before me. So I was all on the Bengals in week 1 because they're playing at home against New England. I cannot believe that he just took the Bengals defense. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. And now I'm like not even sure what to do. And this is why they always say have a plan. I am going to have to go pull up my strength of schedule because I don't even know who else to take. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. All right, so week 1 we have the Chargers are playing Las Vegas. Atlanta's playing Pittsburgh. New Orleans is playing Carolina. I mean, that's not like the worst thing ever. What do I have? Oh my gosh, I got 27 seconds. Who are the Bears playing? Chicago's playing Tennessee. That's not awful. Falcons, Seahawks, Bills. Who are the Bills playing? I'm gonna get timed out. I can't even find Buffalo on here. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I got 5 seconds. I'll take the Saints. That's fine. Who the hell is Buffalo playing? They're playing Arizona. I mean, yeah, it's not ideal. Oh, I cannot, dude. I seriously can't believe that they took the Bengals defense right before me. Like, wow. Okay, that's fine. The Bills defense will still be there if this dude doesn't take them. Who are the Bills playing like in week 2? Because that might be a team I go try to grab right now. See, they have a tough schedule. Oh, they're actually ranked. Wow, the Bills defense actually has the hardest schedule in the NFL, they say, according to this. The only plus matchup they have is Tennessee. And then New England would be in the like fantasy Super Bowl. No, I'm sorry, that's not right. 15, 16, 17. Yeah, no, 15. How many weeks? There's 17 weeks, right? So we got, yeah, okay. So that would be the championship, the Bills defense. I don't know. I mean, look at this. The Bills start off with Arizona. They're at home. Then they're on the road at Miami. Jacksonville, I don't think Jacksonville is all that like tough. But then you have at Baltimore, at Houston, at the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. Then you're home against Tennessee, on the road against Seattle, home against Miami. I mean, it like literally does not get easier. Like I would say the plus matchups for me there, I would say Jacksonville and Tennessee. But man, Bill's defense is it's not looking like a great pick actually. Let's see. So who did I take? I took Yeah, New Orleans is not looking great either because New Orleans has a good matchup for the first week. And then I go Dallas, Philly, Atlanta, Kansas City. Like, how awful is that? And so I'm definitely going to have to pick up on their defense, that's for sure. All right, let's see. What do we got here? These are my picks. So again, round 1, we went St. Brown. Again, this is a full point PPR league. Jahmyr Gibbs, Debo, James Cook. So I went 2-2. And then we went McBride and Anthony Richardson. And again, this is where I lost the value in my receivers, is because I went my tight end and quarterback. I wonder how that's going to pan out, because I feel like that if I messed up this draft, it's because of these two players, honestly. And then we went Jackson Smith. Again, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, Narigba or something. We went Chubb and Ford back to back because I felt like I had to. I had to make sure I got the handcuff for Chubb. We'll throw him in the IR. Shakir, Gus Edwards, and Palmer back to back. Chargers there. I don't know if I love that either. Dotto, who we'll see what happens. Like Dotto and Wright, like these, like they could be big in the end of the season. We'll see what happens. And then obviously we went, Saints defense. So I'm gonna head on over to my team, and we're gonna just kind of quickly see if I can actually make a move or not, because that I'm still not sure if this league allows it. Let's see. And I have the number 5 waiver pick, which is about right if I'm at 8. So we obviously got to take Chubb out. We're going to put him in. Now, do I have an IR spot? I cannot. Why can I not move Chubb to IR? Well, that is really this is, and again, this is another reason why I just don't like ESPN. So I can't even move Chubb to my IR spot right now. So I can't even pick a player up. I mean, that's just like garbage, honestly. Palmer projected 9.8. Ford is projected 11.9. If we just go by projections right now, I'll just throw in Ford, but there's a good chance he doesn't start. I don't know if I love him against the Cowboys. I'm very disappointed. ESPN, like, get your shit together. Like, he's out for 4 weeks. I should clearly be able to move him to my IR. That was one of the big reasons why I ended up drafting him, is because I knew I would be able to go pick up another player. And I think it's BS. I don't know why they do that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was clearly, again, I guess maybe it's not official. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure in my other league that the owner did the same thing that I was thinking, because that's what I did with Brooks, and I threw him in there and I picked up another player. So I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. It's irritating though for me. So there is the starting lineup as of like right now. Obviously, it could change. Let's go to players available, and I just want to see. So he really should open this up. I don't know why these players have to be on a waiver, because we can't pick them up until after week 1 now. So again, if somebody were to get hurt in the last week here before the season starts, you're just screwed and you can't make a move. And I think it's awful. Now it's funny now, because now that I'm looking, I probably should have taken the Seahawks against Denver at home, but it is what it is. I don't know if that would be a better matchup or not, but it's really irritating, because I don't know why. Yeah, because again, if let's say Richardson goes and gets hurt, right, in practice, and he doesn't play in week 1, now I have no quarterback in week 1. And I just don't think it's a good way to go into a fantasy season, having an owner have a situation like that, I guess, because there's no reason why these guys can't just be available. They were not drafted. They were not on a team. So technically a waiver is only a waiver player is technically only someone who gets waived from a team. There's absolutely no reason for a waiver player to be right now a waiver player, because these players just didn't get drafted. It's like after a draft, those players all become unrestricted free agents, where you can go sign with whoever you want. And why these commissioners do this, I don't know. I would never do that, so whatever. But it sucks that I can't go pick someone up right now. But again, according to ESPN, he's not even on the IR, which is ridiculous. So But if we go to the, what is it, Fancast? Is that where we find the projection? I don't know if we have a projection here. It doesn't really look like it. Well, yeah, okay, it is. So my projection is 135.5. I'm playing the A-Town Beatdown, and they are projected 133. So it's pretty even match, overall. So I'm projected by a couple points. So it's Jalen Hurts, Pacheco, and Walker, Hill, and Moore. And there's my Kincaid, Stevenson, and Kirk. It's funny. All three of these players right here, I thought I was thinking about at some point. It's funny. And then they have 49ers actually on Monday night. So we'll see what happens. But again, you should be able to pick up players. There should be no reason why you can't pick up players right now. But again, it says Monday. So that means I don't think it's going to be this Monday. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe these open up on this Monday. But yeah, typically it's well, maybe it is this Monday because honestly, it would usually be Tuesday. So maybe it is going to open up Monday. We'll see. But yeah, anyways, that is the draft. Once again, guys, I really do appreciate everyone just kind of hanging out tonight. We shall see what happens in this league. I have another draft tomorrow at 11:30. Dual quarterback. I got the first round pick. I got the first pick in the draft, I should say. I still am I don't know what I want to do. The biggest problem with the first pick in the draft is you could easily get the best player like Hill or McCaffrey or CD or whoever you think is the best player. But then I have to wait 23 more picks. And I know what happens, because it happens every year, is that there will be 15 quarterbacks taken. Some teams will start the draft with quarterback, boom, done with that. And then they start filling in, where I still think it's important to get one of those best players, So I don't know. I mean, I just don't think I can. I don't think I can do a quarterback with the first pick. Number one, I don't really know who I think is the number one quarterback. So, but it was, Mahomes. Again, you get bonus points for 300 yards passing. So it makes me not think quite as highly as and all touchdowns are 6. So it kind of does downplay Hurts a little bit. It does downplay those rushing quarterbacks a little bit, because even though if you go out and get like 40 or 50 yards rushing for your quarterback, if you don't throw for 300 yards, but the person you're playing throws 300, it's almost like it balances it out. And so that's one of the big things I have an issue with those those quarterbacks in that kind of league, because when you get those bonus points with the yardage thrown, it definitely balances out the rushing the rushing ability of the quarterbacks. Whereas like I have a draft on Monday, then my last draft will be Monday, and in that league it's different because there are no bonuses, and there's also it's 4 points per throwing touchdown. So then the rushing quarterbacks get that boost. And I'll tell you what, if I can get like Hill or Bijan, which I should be able to get because they're both going to be there. It's either them two or Christian McCaffrey. So I'm going to get one of the 3. Coming back to my next pick, in that type of league where I only have to start 2 running backs and a maximum of 3 receivers, because that includes the flex, it really makes me think about taking like Hurts or Josh Allen because of those rushing touchdowns. Because every time that happens, that's 2 extra points, if you play against a pocket passer. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about it though. It's definitely not in my nature to do that, but it would definitely change the draft for me. So all right, guys. I don't know. Let me know. Go back into the video, make a comment in the comments. Let me know, what grade would you give me? If I had to give myself a grade on this, I still think I messed up with the Richardson. We'll see what happens. I would give myself probably like a B, maybe B minus, because I think I messed up twice. again, it honestly, like if Nick Chubb comes back and he is Nick Chubb, I just got myself like a first or second round pick in like the 10th round or whatever round, 9th round. Is that when I drafted him? Or we said 8th round, right? Again, see, that's another one. I could have got Chubb. I could have got him a round later. I feel like that is where I messed up, and then that the whole mixture with I should have waited on quarterback instead of wanting Richardson again. I should have waited. I feel like those are the two spots I really messed up on. So, but we shall see. But yeah, I give myself a B-, I guess. I'm pretty hard on myself sometimes with this kind of stuff, where I do think I nailed my draft this afternoon. I give myself an A on that one. I really do. Again, it's the same thing though. It kind of hinges on Javonte Williams, because if Javonte Williams comes out and does nothing like he did last year, then that's a 0 for me. I mean, it's nothing. And my second running back, but I'm stacked at receiver. I do have Richardson, and I have my IDPs, which are fantastic. I love my IDPs. Again, IDP is individual defensive player. I literally have the top 3 that I had ranked. So I got all 3 of them. So I love it. That's like 300. That's like 300 solo tackles, which is a point per tackle. That's 300 points just for those 3 guys. But anyways, everybody that was chilling tonight, I appreciate you guys. The man on the couch, appreciate you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, dude. This is just something different. And, I do 1 or 2 football things a year because football is, beside maybe Game of Thrones and Star Wars, it's football. That's like my next best love. So I do like to throw something different out there every so often for a live stream. So, Lainey, I appreciate you hanging out. I know you're here most of the night as well. Johnny Knight, Johnny D. I don't want to forget anybody. Jeremy, PDX, Michael Price was in here for a little bit. I don't think Reef. I know you stopped in. Christina Payne was in here in the beginning. Again, appreciate everybody. I know we were up to like 11 people watching at one point. Thank you so much, guys. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go play a little Fortnite, I think. So, yeah. Thank you so much. Hey, listen. You guys have a great night. Don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.